A long time ago in a land far away, the world, it was easy, okay? When you bought your car, it was very simple. You got your underglow, right? You got an aftermarket knob. Wait, what? You got an aftermarket shift knob, which was cool. You got some Konigs that had the flat face on Craigslist. And nowadays there's like 9 million different options for wheels. Canards, wheels, spoilers, canards, wheels, tires, more wheels, and suspension, okay? But we're gonna try and keep our sanity today. There's just a lot of stuff out there, and we thought we'd kind of help out. I'm Alex at.fi on Instagram, and today we're gonna be talking about what type of wheels you should actually buy. Because even just in the wheel area, there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things. And if you don't know how to organize the things into stuff, you're gonna have a bad time. And if you're just jumping into here, hi. Welcome to this adventure, okay? If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so we can keep making banging videos like this. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, let me just get that eyelash out of my eyeball. Be sure to check out fitmentindustries.com because that's what all the cool kids do, and we still succumb to peer pressure. Let's be honest, that's just how it works. And if you're looking to win a free set of wheels, we partner with Kansai. Oh, it's up here. God, it's like I'm taking off my clothes for a camera. Get you automatically entered in to win a free set of Kansai wheels. Description link will be below, okay? Finding out what wheels you should buy is a bit like deciding what type of steak to get when you walk into a supper club at 16 years old on prom night. You want to know what you're doing, but you just don't. And you don't know the differences, and you feel just plain silly, okay? So then you get a steak and you order it medium well. It looks like a burger, okay? Finding out what type of wheel you should buy boils down to really like 3 major categories, okay? Number 1, the function of the wheel. Number 2, uniqueness. And number 3 is price, okay? So we're going to start with just the function of the wheel, and you pretty much have your 3 categories. You have function, which is like the actual functioning of the wheel, like is it lightweight and stuff like that. Then you have form, which is more about the look-skis, and then you have a little bit of both. And just depending on how they're designed and actually made is essentially what's gonna decide which wheel falls in which category. So you ready for a Bill Nye Science lesson class in 60 seconds or less?
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Science rules.
Sweet, because it's probably gonna take a little bit longer. There are wheels that are gravity cast, which are pretty much trash, okay? They're low pressure cast wheels as well, which are not as popular, but still okay. Then you got Rotary Forged, which is pretty decent as long as it's legit. You've got fully forged, which is like, heck yeah, bud, if you can find them in your size. And then multi-piece, either 2 or 3-piece, which is pretty baller, but not really the best for function. Starting off with a gravity cast, which is where the alloy is literally poured into a wheel mold and then is formed by the gravity of the alloy that makes the shape. This is the beefiest boy of them all, and usually the most affordable. Now remember, we've got our gravity cast down here. Now, most brands don't do this anymore. We would recommend staying away from them if you're trying to get a set of wheels for function, as these tend to be a little bit heavier. It's just more metal. If you can't find out if they're gravity cast or not, a lot of times you can just look at the weight or the very low price, like sub 350, and assume that it's gonna be gravity cast. There's very few wheels out there that still do this, but a lot of old wheels on Craigslist are going to be gravity cast. Low pressure cast adds an element of pressurizing the cast to make the alloy more solid, use less material, and is generally just a little bit stronger. Low pressure cast is like the common type of wheel manufacturing now, and they aren't inherently that bad. XXRs use a lot of low pressure cast, for example, and it allows them to get the thin spokes as well. However, because there's a million ways to low pressure cast, not all are created equal. You can get sharper spokes and more designs with this style versus a typical gravity cast, mostly just because gravity cast doesn't allow you to make the sharp, fancy, little spokey design wheels. After that, one step up is Rotary Forged, which is the next step. It's lighter, they're usually stronger, there's more diversity with the wheel design. And with Rotary Forging, they usually take the barrel of the wheel and apply a ton of heat to it, okay? Then they start spinning the wheel while applying some big old rollers. So the metal's in the middle, then they roll it out, right? And that's pretty much what ends up happening to the barrel of the wheel. You get a forged barrel with a cast wheel. And if you're looking for a great budget/function wheel, Rotary Forged are usually the ones to go for. Everyone has their own name for it, whether that's cold forged, flow form, Rotary Forged, etc. whatever. ESR's got their RF1s and RF2s. Rohana has a Rotary Forged lineup. Konig has their freeform lineup. They have the Decagram, the Hypergram, and these things are super popular. In fact, TSW really coined Rotary Forged, and they actually own the term Rotary Forged, which is why you see so many people use different terms. Fully forged wheels are wheels that are made usually out of a single block of T6061 aluminum. This used to be super expensive and meant solely for professional racing. However, now you can do it with a pretty decent price. It's slightly less than buying a set of multi-piece wheels. RSR Forged was one of the first bigger names to start offering these wheels to the normal market. Most notably the 901, the 902, and the 903, being Fitment specific wheels that were fully forged for the Honda Type R, the Mustang, and the Corvette. Now these wheels are the ultimate function wheels, and a lot of times you'll be able to tell just by looking at them. They've got a lot of cutouts, a lot of weight savings. They usually are gray, that's just how they are. But because not many people make these wheels and even less people find them for specific applications, you're not gonna usually find them for your car. They usually end up being around $2,500 a set as well, which can make it a little bit weird. Multi-piece wheels are straight fire, but they're mostly for looks, style, and to get tight fitment. Multi-piece wheels come in every color under the sun, and they are super sweet, okay? But you're paying for most of them, and they are pretty dang heavy due to the added hardware, the fact that they generally have bigger lip sizes, and all that sort of just stuff, okay? In short, gravity cast is usually at the bottom of the list, and it's usually a no-no unless you just want the cheapest wheels possible and you don't care about wheel weight. Low pressure cast would be your stuff like your XXRs, and they're not shabby, they get the job done, and they're usually not original designs, but you can thrash on these sets and never feel bad when you end up breaking one. Once you move up from low pressure cast, you get up to the Rotary Forged, okay, which is the most value on the function side of things per dollar, and there's lots of sizes and designs, and it's probably the biggest pool in 2020. It's gonna be the one where you see most companies going towards. Once you move up, you've got the Forged, which is badass and awesome, but it's usually limited and a little bit expensive, and it's usually not even made for your car yet. Forged wheels for the consumer is probably gonna take like 5 years, but if you wanna make them fit for your car, go nuts. And then on top of the whole thing, you've got your multi-piece wheels, which is flashy flash, pretty much all looky and very little function, okay? They're expensive, it's just how it goes. Once you've decided on how you're going to use the wheel, you'll know which one to buy. Is it low pressure cast and Rotary Forged? Or they're like the #1 most popular for most people because they want wheels that can be used occasionally, but not every single day. Then you have your stuff like your multi-piece wheels, which is gonna be something that's way more popular for actually form. It's for the car show people. It's for the people that just wanna have a fancy style. But after that, you've gotta decide on what type or style of wheel or uniqueness you want, and this is how we break it down there. Because a lot of times, the #1 question that we get asked is, what type of wheel should I buy? If your car is busy, go with a sleek, simple design with some concavity. If your car is sleek and simple, both with body lines and mods, go with a little busier wheel design and mix it up with some lip. The biggest thing to do is that you need to like cross your wheels to your vehicle, and a lot of times that's what's gonna make something pop. Wheels are always up to what you want, but the amount of people that ask us what they think we should buy is too damn high. The best way to decide if you'll like a wheel is deciding if your car is busy or not, and then just do the opposite thing with your wheels. Just remember, the more creative you want your wheels, the more expensive usually everything becomes, until eventually the only option left are the $3,500 multi-piece wheels. However, there's companies like Cosmos Racing that have been pushing that as far as possible by offering 3 color-ish designed wheels within one wheel that has a machine lip, usually has like a different painted window and then a different painted face, which give you that crazier design without the massive price point. All of the gravity cast, low pressure, Rotary Forged, and multi-piece wheels can have both simple and busy design, but usually on the lower end of the spectrum is where it's a little bit more restricted. Okay? You'll be limited in options in terms of color and things like that in the fully forged route and the gravity cast route, but you'll have most freedom in the Rotary Forged and multi-piece. So once you decide that you want a certain type of wheel and you know what type of design wheel, that's usually gonna end up going into like the last thing, which would end up being price. Now, price is ultimately what everyone looks at when they're buying stuff, and that's okay. And what happens with price is that a lot of times people think more expensive is gonna give them the best wheel ever, and that's not entirely true. Price is low when you're looking at wheels without color, without lots of crazy designs, and can be probably gravity cast or low pressure cast. But if you climb that ladder, usually price does climb with it a little bit. If you're looking for $1,000 to $1,500, Rotary Forged is gonna have pretty much anything that you need. And if you're looking for a crazy color wheel with a gnarly width and a custom setup, You're gonna wanna save those pennies, buddy, or go get a firm, because multi-piece wheels are just gonna be the option, because you're left with things like work or rotiform or things like that. But if you're looking for something that just gets the job done without breaking the bank, go snag some low pressure cast wheels and get some decent tires. Not many people will crack a joke on you if you run good tires on some affordable wheels, and sometimes that's okay. Not everybody needs a fancy set of wheels. But there's pros and cons to everything, especially as you go up the ladder of wheels. Quality, weight, price, color options, and customization all play a role. And deciding on what type of wheels you should buy comes down to truly what you're looking for. Function style wheels look good on function style cars like the WRX or Evo, Conseil, Cosmos, or Konig. Thin spoke wheels look good on cars with massive wheel arches and big brakes like Camaros, Ferraris, Mustangs. For that, you have Rohana. Wide wheel wells deserve a crazy wheel design like the 350 and the 370, the G35 and the G37, even the Infiniti Q cars. You need to see those multi-piece wheels because they give the car exactly what it's needed. And a full-on race car should have fully forged wheels if you spend less of your time at car shows and most of your time at the track. A lot of times you'll be able to find fully forged options through companies like RSR because they specialize in making wheels like that. But hey, if you still don't know what you're looking to get after watching it, that's okay. We don't judge. I'm an equal opportunity wheel guy, okay? But what you can do to save yourself some time is go check out the gallery at fitmentindustries.com, where there's about 30,000 cars with aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, and you can go find out what you like without having to ask 100 of your friends. If you don't have 100 friends, I'm sorry. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to check out fitmentindustries.com and let us know what you'd like to see us cover next. Wheels, they're a tricky guy, whatever you want them to be, okay? But they don't have to be. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we'll see you later. Peace.